I have never been one to shy away from just jumping in feet first.
Yeah.
Marine Corps infantry at 18.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
Law enforcement as soon as I got out of that.
Yeah.
And then, well, shoot, if I can talk people into handcuffs, I can talk people about cars.
Yeah.
Straight into automotive and just getting stuck. And so it was one of those where
It's like, all right, next chapter.
It comes up and I was like, yep.
Dude, that's
Who's
great.
my direct boss? Well, that's the GM. Okay. Well, do you want to be the GM? Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Let's do this.
Today in the podcast, we have Osburn.
What a name.
Not Ozzy Osbourne, but close. Osburn. We'll get into the whole name thing when we are in the podcast. But Oz, I know back from when he was just the service manager over at Motohouse in Picayune, Mississippi. He actually went through the Service Management Academy. He has, from that role, now turned into the general manager of that store. And that's like my favorite success story to listen to as well, is service managers becoming general managers, because they run awesome operations.
We're not biased.
I mean, yeah, well, okay, we are biased. But it is usually a pretty incredible operation when it's run by somebody who really understands the back of house and how that all goes. So
I think that it just instills in people, like it mandates customer experience.
It does. It does. The understanding of how much the ownership experience has to do with people coming back and buying their next vehicles. I mean, building long-term loyalty comes with having good ownership experiences, and you need to know how much it can really suck in service if it's not done right.
Yeah.
So,
and he's got a great story. I mean, coming from automotive, you know, working in a service
being
department.
a Marine
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
Marine,
going into
police officer.
Yeah.
But I mean, talking about working at a giant auto dealer with 50 technicians and multiple
huge operation.
service managers and multiple, I mean, how many advisors? 20 advisors? Like,
there was 10 advisors in that
and then
50.
assistants.
There was the levels of management. It was just really interesting to hear, you know, at scale, how can you really make this thing incredibly efficient? And then, of course, how different it is to come over to Powersports.
To starting a dealership.
Yeah, from scratch. So really, really interesting episode. It was a lot of fun to talk to him. I think you're going to enjoy this episode just as much as we enjoyed talking to Oz. So please like and subscribe. Share this episode if you really enjoyed it. If you would like to sponsor the podcast or be a part of the podcast, please reach out to us at dealerlab@onyx.io. That'll come to us and we can get you involved. So thank you so much and enjoy the episode. So Osburn, right? Is it Osburn?
It's Osburn, as in, you know, you get burned if you get it wrong. So
I know. I mean, it's just, you gotta. Can we please just start off with it? It is pretty incredible. Your parents must have been Black Sabbath fans or something.
Well, no, it wasn't the parents. So my legal first name is actually Charles.
Okay.
Oz is a nickname I picked up in the Marine Corps.
All right.
It was the one nickname I got in the Marine Corps that was set for polite company that I could tell my mom about when I got home. The rest of the things I got called were not pretty. So when I got home and my stepdad, who is an Army guy, said, "Well, what do they call you?" That was the only thing that I could utter out without having my mom change shades of color. So, yep.
So Oz Osburn makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And it did, of course, start from Ozzy.
Of course.
With the last name of Osburn, you know.
Yep.
In the Corps, everybody goes by last names.
Yep.
So that's great. I mean, it's a good one to stick with. It does make it very memorable.
It just makes it nice and easy.
It does.
Nowadays, a lot of times when I'm introducing myself, especially to new people, it's Oz, like the Wizard of.
So
they just never forget it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've gone more to the like wicked side. You're like, well, when this is going on.
Well, it's better than like, bite the heads off of something. So like I just Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, it's a much friendlier version. That's
Yes,
a really good.
Yeah,
point.
not that magician guy who's I always think it's Oz, but it's Oz, the mentalist guy.
Oh, I don't know this.
Have you seen that guy?
No, I haven't seen this
Oh
one.
my God, it's unbelievable. Just like talk to you for 10 seconds and tell you your PIN code for your ATM card. Yeah.
I feel like I should at least get to know his face so I can stay away from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a real con man kind of situation. I'm not sure I would want to do that.
Oh, especially down here in New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. We got lots of
kidding.
those. A lot of swindling happening.
Yep.
All right, so I know, I'm just going to let you know this, which I don't know if
Yeah, it's our first time meeting.
First time meeting. Mississippi guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Holding it down.
Yeah, good job. How far apart are you guys from each other? Gulfport to...
What is that? Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, and you're in
Picayune,
Mississippi.
Yep.
I knew that, and then it just escaped my mind. So hour apart. Nice. I was actually just in Ocean Springs this weekend.
Beautiful little town.
It really is such a beautiful little town. You ever spent time in Ocean Springs?
Nope.
Oh my God, it's awesome. I mean,
No, I come from Colorado, so I'm used to the metro area outside of Denver.
Yeah.
I moved down to Picayune, Mississippi, and I enjoy the quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I pay my mortgage. I enjoy sitting at my house.
because you're going to work.
Yep.
Wow.
I go to work. I go back home. I stop at Walmart on the way, and that's it.
Good.
That's
What brought you to Mississippi?
So I've got family down here.
Okay, cool.
So me bringing my kiddos down here with my wife actually makes generations 3 and 4 in
Oh,
Picayune.
nice.
So
Okay.
my
Nice.
grandparents who are still alive live in Picayune, and
Yep.
then my father lives in Picayune as well. So
Yeah.
initially the Osburn family is from Gulfport.
Nice.
During one of the hurricanes in the 70s, they end up moving up towards Picayune area.
Nice.
And then kind of scattered out from there. So my dad wasn't born in Picayune. I wasn't born in Picayune. My kids weren't born in Picayune, but we all kind of migrated back to
Oh, that's cool.
that.
That's
really
awesome,
cool.
man.
So was it the Marines that got you to a landlocked state like Colorado? How'd you get there?
No, so actually I was raised in Colorado.
Okay,
so
okay, got
my dad raised me up in Colorado, and when I left off to the Marine Corps, I decided like, all right, well, let's go see what the rest of the U.S. looks like. I was stationed out in Hawaii for a couple of years. That was fun.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Came back to Colorado and then went to law enforcement for a bit, and after doing law enforcement,
Yeah.
and injured my shoulder as a Marine.
Yeah.
Blew my knee out actually fighting with a Marine as a police officer. My then girlfriend, now wife, picked me up from the ER and said, hey, babe, is there anything you can do other than wear a vest and a gun to go to work?
Yeah.
And I had a very old sergeant by the name of Pringle, who's passed now, but he during his time leaving Denver PD and then coming over to the small town that I was at, did car sales for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so whenever he'd get frustrated about the police department, would talk about, well, when I was selling cars.
Yeah.
And so when the wife goes, well, anything you can do other than wear a vest and gun, I went, sure, if I can talk people into handcuffs, I can probably talk them into buying a car they want. And so,
Got great reviews as a cop, huh?
Hey, talked him into the handcuffs. That's impressive.
well, they don't want to go voluntarily. So you got 2 options. I would rather try and talk somebody into it than make somebody do it.
I'd imagine there weren't too many that tried to put up a fight with you.
There was a couple. Every once in a while.
Hopefully
But
they
yes,
were little puny guys.
No. Every once in a while they were, but the small guys you got to be careful of. They've got nothing to lose. And nothing's more embarrassing than being the really big officer who got put on his butt by a small guy.
Yeah. Okay. So you were more nervous about going into those. Like,
100%.
It's going to be ego killing everything. Yeah.
100%. And so, it went and did car sales for a couple of months and did not like how slow it was. And by a couple of months, I mean 3.
Yeah.
I walked into my manager's office and I was like, man, I appreciate the option and the opportunity to be here, but I'm good.
Yeah.
He was a Southern guy, so I started by sliding in Arizona sweet tea. You know, I was grown in Colorado, so I didn't know any better. Okay. But I knew sweet tea was the way, so I slid a sweet tea across the table to him and said, hey, I really appreciate you hiring me.
Yeah.
I'm going to quit. I'd like to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so that started the conversation of him going, well, we've got an opening, in the lot crew. You seem to get along with everybody. You're here on time. You work hard.
Yeah.
Is it the position or is it the dealership? And I was like, well, I just don't like sitting for 2 or 3 days and only talking to 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, of course.
This is 2014 at this time.
Yep.
And he goes, so you don't mind working here. It's just the sales role isn't for you.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you want to be a lot tech? I go, sure. At this point now I'm, within 3 months on to job number 2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if I don't have to go looking for another one, that'd be great.
Yeah. It's easier.
Yeah.
So I went and did lot tech for quite a while. Went to school to actually do body work for cars.
Wow.
Once the dealership found out that I was going to school to work with my hands, like, well, shoot, if you want to work in the shop, come on over.
Yeah.
So I started PDIing cars, and from there realized that kind of the service advisor route was the way to go.
Nice.
Did service advisor, and then from there moved up into service management stuff. A couple different dealerships later, and
How many stores did you work at doing that?
Well, so I held 4 different roles at Phil Long Ford of Denver.
Okay.
Then moved over to Larry H. Miller of Denver I was there for probably a good 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Right in service or?
Right in service, and then ended up as a drive manager. It was a very large dealership at the time that I was there. So, I mean, we
What's
had
a drive manager?
Oh, well, it is exactly as it sounds. So kind of your service drive.
Yeah.
That was my job, was to manage that. So we had 10 advisors.
Whoa.
So
advisors.
very large.
So you
It's
were
just like managing a Chick-fil-A line. Like it's just
of a bunch of people driving $80,000 Raptors that are angry, yes.
Wow. You were in charge.
my pleasure.
Yeah. So you were in charge of the service advisors at that point?
Yep.
Okay.
And so it was one of those, it was kind of a dual billet role. So I was the lead advisor as well as the drive manager.
Okay.
We had another shop manager who was also kind of a dual billet role, did some of the internal stuff, but was in charge of all the technicians. And then we had a service director who oversaw the two of us and the rest of the operation.
Wow.
So
The rest of the service operation? Like, what would that include? What other components?
about 50 technicians.
Wow. Okay.
Between quick lane and mainline techs for quite a while there, because we had outgrown our facility we were in. They actually had 2 different shifts, and so service department was open from 7 a.m. until midnight.
Wow. Okay.
Because at 5 o'clock, everybody who started in the morning would leave,
Yeah.
and the night crew would come in, and most of the time they were there until about 3 in the morning.
Holy shit.
But the drive was physically open for customers to come in until about midnight.
Wow.
So, but they
What
were
an
operating
operation.
two techs, 2 different shifts out of the same bay. Until they finally ended up leasing another facility about a quarter mile away. And so that was kind of my first step into, hey, how do you operate service out of 2 different locations?
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
And facilitate moving everything. So,
That is really fascinating.
it was, I had no idea at the time how much I was going to learn.
What was the name of the store?
Larry H. Miller.
Okay.
Yep.
Larry H. Miller. Wow. And what were the products? It was Ford.
Just Ford.
Just Ford.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is a crazy operation. So you were in charge of all advisors, or were there other advisors as well? Like, were there longer term jobs that weren't coming to that same drive?
So, I mean, all the advisors that worked for the store all were there at the same time, essentially.
Yeah.
We had
so you're
one
like
guy
a
who was
front
at
of
night.
house manager for service,
Yes.
kind of like everything that's
Yep.
customer facing.
Yes.
And there's another guy that's everything. It's kind of
Back
a
of
shop
house.
foreman is the other guy, or is he?
Oh, no, we had 2 shop foremen.
Wow.
And we had the manager of the shop. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, when you start divvying up buildings, you got 2 different locations.
That's incredible.
You know, you have to have somebody who's able to break away and go physically lay hands on what the techs are doing.
Wow.
And be able to see what they're doing and then bring that back up and convey that back over to the advisors.
Wow.
50 technicians.
That
Yeah.
is,
So, I mean, it's just like any service shop.
yeah.
There's always a revolving door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you're
kind
constantly,
of our average, though, is about 50 guys.
Wow.
that is a huge operation. I mean, what an incredible experience learning
Oh, yeah.
how that can happen at scale.
And this is only the 2nd service department I worked at. So I was like, well, this is half the departments out there.
I guess this
Yeah.
is yeah, exactly. Not realizing like this is insane.
Yes.
And very cool, but that's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're there for 2 or so years. Where do you go afterwards?
Realized I needed a bit of change in my life. Tried a very short period of time, a couple of months at another dealer before my wife went, so we went and visited your dad down in Mississippi a couple years ago. And you know how I said I would never live there? I go, yeah. She goes, you want to move down there? I was like, yep, sounds great.
Really?
And she goes, well, I thought I was going to have to talk you into this. I thought this was going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And so we actually went from the time that we talked about first moving until we were in Mississippi was about 35 days.
Whoa.
So sold our house in Colorado. We had only bought it about 10 months before. Sold it, made a little bit of money off of it, paid for getting down here, paid for getting set up.
Did you have kids? At the,
Yep. Yeah, 2 daughters.
2 daughters at the time. Wow.
yeah.
How old were they when you came down?
Oh, shoot. Let's see here. We came down in 21.
Okay.
And they are 7 and 9 now.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Same ages as my,
Yep.
my 2 daughters. Same ages. Good job.
Yeah.
Girl
So-
dad.
All right.
Half.
He's got a little boy too. I mean, he's great. Hal's
Got a
incredible. but-
girl and a boy.
There you go. There you go. We'll take
Half.
it.
I don't know what that. Yeah. I don't know what a half kid would do.
Doing air 5. I don't deserve the full 5.
Hey, take what you can get.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, so moved down here, worked for a Ford dealer for a very short period of time in Metairie.
In Metairie.
Yep.
Lamarche?
No, it was Matt Bowers. Matt Bowers.
Oh, Matt Bowers, yeah.
This is in their old
I had
facility.
no idea you were in Metairie slinging service.
Only about 6 months.
Okay.
Big culture shock coming down from Colorado.
Yeah. What was the biggest difference in
Things
the?
move a little slower.
Not just move a little slower. The language barrier was huge.
Yeah, we speak a different language.
Yes. Oh, yes. Big time.
Okay. Okay.
I had absolutely no idea that was. I was like, well, it's, we're still in the U.S. It's all the same. You get down there and somebody starts talking half French and it just sounds like they got gumbo in their mouth. And I'm staring at them doe-eyed like, I don't have any idea what you're telling me.
Holy shit, that's incredible.
Yeah, so that was a culture shock.
Yeah.
Especially living in Picayune. I'd only been there for a very short period of time.
So you were in Picayune driving into Metairie
Yes.
every day.
Yep.
So an hour
driving
and a
over
half.
the twin span. Yep.
Yeah.
An hour and 15, hour and a half. But I'd gotten hired for the job in Metairie before I moved down here. That was part of, all right, if
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
need
be
to
moving
find-
across the U.S., let's...
What position?
Just service advisor.
Service advisor?
Yep. Yeah, just walking as an advisor on there. In the facility at the time, they have a new facility now, which is great, but the facility at the time was rough.
Really?
Bits of the ceiling falling on me while I'm sitting there trying to write service.
Oh,
and,
no.
and I'm sitting there going, what did I do?
Yeah. Okay. From a behemoth of an operation into that. Oh
Yep.
my God. How big was the MAP Hour operation when you went into it?
We had 4 advisors there. They had probably 20 techs or so.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, about the same scale of tech per advisor that we were running up in Colorado.
Yeah.
So about 5 to 1.
Yeah. But still half the size.
Yep.
Less than half the size.
Yep. So when I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore, I was like, all right, well, we'll try some work from home stuff. Did that for about 4 months. And
What were you doing?
trying to basically off of Angie's List, trying to hire contractors to be able to buy leads.
Okay.
All doing telemarketing phone stuff. Again,
Wow.
I did that for a couple months. I was like, oh,
Man, you just
nope,
it's
not
like
it.
full on hustle mode. You're like, all right, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just let's go for it.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there one night, and this is over a period of about 2 weeks. I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling through Indeed because I'm like, all right, I'm missing having interactions with people. I thought I'd be good working from home. I'm enjoying being a homebody anyways and not being around people all the time.
Did a little too much maybe.
Yep.
Become like a hermit.
Yeah, really quickly I was like, wow, the only people I'm talking to I helped create and are my wife
and their children, and I don't know how to talk to humans or like grown-ups anymore.
Yeah,
I know that
exactly.
feeling.
Other than, so have you heard of Angie's List? That was the only other adult interactions I got, and it just wasn't really doing it for me.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling through Indeed, and I'd gone past ads for Motohouse a couple of times over a few weeks.
Yeah.
And the wife's sitting there, and she goes, babe, 'cause she's looking over my shoulder. Not of, hey, what are you doing? Just of, you're miserable in what you're doing right now.
Let's help find you a job. Yeah.
Let's find you something that you're going to come home and be excited to tell me about how your day went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of me like, oh, I'm going to ask him how his day went, and he's
gonna
going to
bad
smile and
again.
nod because he hasn't lied. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes, babe, they're hiring a service manager. I really think you should apply for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I go, I don't know. I want to go back to the dealership world.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, they say it's only 40 hours a week. I go, yeah, they all say it's 40 hours a week. Of course they say it's 40 hours a week.
Is that they hit you?
Because Indeed doesn't have the option 65 plus hours a week. That's not one of the filters they have.
Yeah, they don't. The maximum. Yeah.
And she goes, well, call them. Just see what happens. Call them.
Yeah.
So called him, the GM at the time, who they had not physically opened the building yet.
Wow. Yeah.
Called me up and goes, hey, I'm really excited to interview you. Did a little phone interview. When can you come up? And actually drove up to our store in Hattiesburg and did the interview with him and with William Moore, the CEO at the time.
Nice.
And
Was
that
it
went
Mike
really well.
who was interviewing? Mike Sanders? Or?
Nope. No, so the GM at the time was Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So interviewed with him, interviewed with William.
Yeah.
Interview went really well.
Cool.
That was February.
February of what year?
Of 22.
22. Okay.
Yep. And they go, well, we're opening the store here next month, which ended up being a little later than that. But they go, we'd still like to get you hired, have you come up, train with our crew that's up here on how we operate service. We understand you got a bunch of experience in, but we'd like you to see how we do it.
Yeah.
You're coming from automotive, different from automotive to Powersports.
Yep.
In the back of my brain, I'm going, yeah, service is service, though. Ended up training with Martin up there for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was an interesting thing. Again, we get into that culture difference. Him being from England, really. I was like, cool. So I go from sounding like I'm talking to somebody that's got gumbo in their mouth and peanut butter to
tea and crumpets.
I don't know if he's lecturing me or if he's trying to give me advice. So it was
a lot going on there.
A whole bunch real fast, but it went really well. We ended up actually opening up that store. Our first day down there was February 19th of 22.
Wow. Okay, nice.
I'm sorry, April 19th of 22.
Oh wow, it's coming up on an anniversary here.
Yep. And so, it was interesting building the store from scratch. We walk in, there's a couple of desks set up, and they had a couple of lifts in place, but we didn't have an air compressor yet. Not all the wiring was done yet.
Damn.
It just was all sorts of fun.
Wow.
April 19th.
So were you a part of setting things up, designing? Yeah.
Not designing. Most of the design had already been done at that time.
Yeah.
But this is the physical operation of,
we need this tooling. We need this.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, no tools, no factory tools yet at that time.
Yeah.
At the time we had signed on with just Can-Am. And so we didn't even have any bikes yet. I remember on our official grand opening, which happened in May, we had 4 bikes there, 4 new bikes.
Yeah.
1 Can-Am side-by-side, a Maverick, and then 3 Outlanders.
It's a lot of building for just that.
Huge amount of building for just that. And the real kicker is we're in the middle of part shortages, so only 2 of those bikes could be sold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the other 2 didn't run. They're waiting on ECUs.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yep.
What a thing. The facility's beautiful, too. It's a really nice shop.
Oh, yeah. They did a great job of setting that up. So they ended up converting over an old bowling alley and an old marble countertop store.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yep.
They were just next to each other? And
Yep. Just next to
It's
each
funny.
other.
My dad had a Honda dealer in Biloxi.
Yeah.
And whenever he moved up, upgraded from his little place to his bigger place, they retrofitted a bowling alley.
Really? That's the place to go.
That's right.
Bowling alleys.
Apparently.
I think so. Like good floors, but like only in strips.
I don't want to jump forward, but I'm excited to hear the difference coming from automotive.
Yeah,
I mean, were you a Powersports guy at all before?
So I grew up riding ATVs and motorcycles, dirt bikes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of my childhood. And so it was something for me where, I understand at least enough of how that clientele is coming into it, or at least I thought I did.
Yeah.
This is up in Colorado. We're riding the Rocky Mountains. We're doing some long distance stuff. We're doing trail riding for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
and
you're
then
not
turn around and come back.
mud bogging.
I remember the very first time that I got introduced to what the mud down here was.
Yeah.
It's not like mud up there.
No, it's
Mud up there is wet dirt. It's a little slick.
Yep.
Mud down here is like quicksand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about people, oh yeah, they take these out mud, and I'm like, okay,
Big
like,
deal.
Like rolling through puddles.
yeah, exactly. I was like, well, yeah, I've driven through streams.
Yeah. You're going to sink all the way down. Yeah.
And then you start looking at the scale of the bikes down here that people take out mud. And,
Are you talking about like those like tractor wheels on their
Yes.
ATVs? I saw one sitting in the Buc-ee's parking lot yesterday.
Yep.
Of course,
that right?
had to hit it with Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's
so
crazy. Do you guys have those things rolling through your shop right now?
A little bit. So we do some Motohouse builds. So we call them an MHP edition. And so we're going up to 35-inch wheels and up to 6-inch lifts on them, and doing some fun stuff with it that we set up before the customer comes and purchases the bike. So
That's
we take
cool.
stock bikes and just kind of outfit them a little bit.
Yeah. You're like, I know what you're going to do with this. Don't worry. It's got a snorkel. It's got these giant wheels on it.
Yep.
You can be like 4 feet into water and like you'll be fine.
Yep. Yeah. And then you get these guys that roll in. They're like, well, I don't need something that small. You're
Yeah.
like, that's cool. This is as big as I build.
Yeah, exactly.
The warranty coverage that we sell will allow this and still
Yeah.
cover things. So that's
Yeah.
where I stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the like 6 foot tall tires that are the crazy
Yeah.
ones.
I remember I worked at a Can-Am dealership in high school, and it was talk about culture shock. Like my whole life, we've always been street, some dirt bikes here and there, but seeing the customers that buy a $30,000 unit, they come back for a warranty issue a week later, the thing is spotless like it never left, and then you open the airbox.
It's mud. Oh, yeah.
And then they're infuriated that it's not covered under warranty.
100%. And so that was one of the huge things coming from automotive to power sports. Warranty claims in automotive are very, very cut and dry as far as it was either caused by a mechanical failure
Yeah.
or an outside influence.
Right.
Very few in between.
Yeah.
And it's much harder to cover that stuff up and hide that stuff in automotive.
Yeah.
There's so many sensors, so many computers.
Yeah.
They can tell when you cleared codes. They can't necessarily always tell what the codes were. I'm sure they can now. At the time I was doing it, they couldn't.
Yeah.
But you could go, okay, when did the check engine light come on? Oh, it started coming on last week. Perfect. So was that before or after Thursday at noon when you cleared them?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and customer goes, ooh, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, so let's have a conversation
Something
about what
happened
warranty
here.
fraud is.
So power sports,
Yeah.
it's pretty much all gray area.
Yes, it is. And that was one of the huge changes coming from automotive to power sports, not just going from single brand to multi-brand,
Yeah.
but just the amount of stuff that you're sitting there going, I'll ask the manufacturer. They'll let me know if they're going to cover it or not. The manufacturer goes, no, you tell us if it's warranty.
Oh God.
And you're sitting
yeah,
there going,
like, how am I the guy? It's your
well, wait, what? They're like, well, you know the warranty guidelines, and if it's wrong, then you guys cover it. I'm like,
Wow.
no, as the shop, I don't want that liability.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
And Can-Am is one of those that does that more than most.
really.
Yep. A lot of the other Polaris and CFMoto have really switched over to kind of pre-approval type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So you.
Can-Am, especially once you're a platinum dealer, has a lot of leeway on that. If they're like, well, if it's a warranty thing, go ahead and get started with it, as long as it's not one of the very few
Yeah.
that is absolute prior approvals.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then it opens up all kinds of that gray area of
Yeah, which is nice. It is nice to know, like, hey, this doesn't look super fishy. I'm going to start getting
stuff
going
coming.
on it, not
Yep,
having to wait.
exactly.
So that's great. That's great.
So warranty is one thing. What are some other differences?
So one of the biggest things I ran into is units that are coming in running rough. So anything with an air fuel mixture, the amount of data that comes out of an ATV, so much different than the data that comes out of an F-150.
Yeah.
And so I'm used to, hey, let me get in, get diagnosed. Technician will get me an answer here. Give me a half hour, give me 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll have a game plan. If we need to get parts and they're not here now, I'll probably have them tomorrow.
Yeah.
ATVs, you roll it in, and tech goes, All right, cool. I'll let you know.
Yeah, diags might take a week.
Very rarely are they taking that long for us. But when you have to reach out to the manufacturer, you're not wrong. Sometimes that does
Exactly.
happen.
It's a back
Yeah.
But it's something where tech goes, well, this is where we're going to start.
Yeah.
I know this is bad. I don't know if anything beyond it's bad.
Yeah.
And in automotive, that happens, but on such a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Power
Those
sports.
are one-offs. Every diagnostic is a little harder to figure out.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
And so there was a huge learning curve there for me, especially on the management side.
Yeah.
The advisor I had hired at the time also came from automotive. So both me and him are sitting there scratching our heads. Like,
Really?
You got to figure out how to communicate to the customer. Like, you know?
Yeah, we're figuring
I
it
mean,
out.
that takes some serious finesse.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we're used to all of our word tracks that we've been using for years. And now we're having to morph them a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's 2022, so we're also talking part shortages are hard to come by.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to wrap my brain around the fact that when I order parts from manufacturer, we're talking 7-10 business days before they get to my shop.
Yeah.
Power sports, it's, man, I'm so sorry I can't get here today. It'll be here in the morning. You know, coming on,
mean that's
yeah,
auto,
auto.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the way that
Morning,
is.
yeah.
Is it's just the next day they
Powers.
come there.
Yeah.
Power sports, they're
Yeah, you're apologizing, saying, sorry, I won't be here till tomorrow.
Yeah, you're not
Power
saying-
sports, it's like, oh, shit, it's a
Hopefully
week.
it'll be here next week.
yeah. I promise I'll call you as soon as it gets in.
Yeah. The expectation is still a little bit different. And I'm not saying that's okay, but people are driving their cars as their main mode of transportation. Nobody's taking their swamp tire ATV to work.
That's
So
true.
there is a little bit of an expectation there.
But they do take their
Mississippi,
motorcycles to
Picayune.
work. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They do take the motorcycles to work from time to time.
Yeah,
But
true.
One of the biggest things that I ran into is the attitude associated with it, though.
Really?
So yes, your customer who's going and picking their kids up there this afternoon in their, their little Focus,
Yeah.
needs that car.
Yep.
It's not hard for me to put them into a loaner or put them into a rental, especially if we're dealing with warranty stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have rental or loaner mud buggies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
of
not a
course.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
As well as that customer voluntarily went and spent $30,000, $40,000,
Yeah,
$50,000,
exactly.
$60,000 on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't feel like they're forced into it. It's not an everyday portion
They
of their
don't
life.
have to have it.
They don't have to have it, but the emotion that was involved with getting it, and now the emotion involved with I have to go home and listen to the wife be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still am making a payment on this, and it's sitting at the shop broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that trying to handle the customer emotion side
That
was
is-
so much different.
That is frustrating. That is really frustrating.
Super frustrating. It's frustrating for them. It was frustrating for us as well because we're coming from the environment of, man, I'm going to get it to you. We're going to get you taken care of. It's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to have to say it all the time when a customer would get really upset. I just have to break it down and say, listen, trust me, I do not want this thing here any longer than it has to be.
I want it
You
back
have
in
to
your
trust
hands.
me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. And it's amazing how many people don't seem to realize, especially on the service side, when you've got a service advisor or a service manager, or even a service coordinator who is empathetic to the customer, they truly do want to have the customer have the best experience they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
and get it back as soon as possible because they don't care to deal with a frustrated customer.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I understand this is frustrating for you. It's equally frustrating for us. Let me work on getting it done fast. Let me get back to you.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then when
it's a
there's-
tremendous amount of empathy in that position.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when there's that hiccup or that problem that happens in there and they're having to call and give that bad news and the customer does have that negative feedback, that justified, understandable negative feedback,
Yeah.
super hard for some people to
It is.
to
Like,
wrap
I
their-
really did do everything I possibly could, and I still got beat up at the end of the day.
Yes, 100%.
What do you think about differences like operationally? Like, you were talking, multiple foremans, like you were the drive manager. Like,
Yep.
there's got to be, whenever you came in, so many things like, God, if we just had this role.
Yeah.
Like, this role doesn't exist. Like, how did that go? Was the volume just so much lower that it was manageable, or?
You got to remember when we opened the doors, we hadn't had our grand opening yet. I had nobody coming into the store.
Yeah.
So you got to grow.
We got to
with
grow a bit with
That's
it.
nice.
And so it was one of those of I didn't get hired into an operational shop.
Yeah.
I got hired in and then showed up day one when the shop very first opened.
You're
its
like,
doors.
anybody want to come in?
We were setting computers up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
There was no phones, so
Yeah.
we're setting the phones up, setting the computers up, setting the cash registers up.
Yeah. So as things come up, you were able to address them then. It wasn't like
Yes.
coming in and drinking out of a fire hose. It was
Correct.
just like slowly building it
Yep,
up.
slowly
That's
building.
great.
I mean, it was over a period of a couple of months, but it was enough time for us to start to wrap our brain around.
So you started
some of
with
the
Can-Am.
differences.
What other brands did you start with, though?
So shortly after we opened up, we got Polaris and CFMoto as well.
Okay.
Those were both in 22. But yeah, our grand opening day was just Can-Am at the time, and a bunch of used bikes that we had a sales team that was very active on Marketplace, contacting everybody that was willing to sell something.
Yeah.
Just so we, when we opened the doors, had bikes sitting there.
Yeah.
That's
what
good.
other
As long as it's-
on-road stuff do you guys carry now? Is it just...
So right now, we actually just picked up Yamaha about 30 days ago.
Oh, cool.
So
Wow.
we've got Yamaha on-road, we've got CFMoto on-road, and then we've got the Spider Riker lines from Can-Am
Very nice.
for their on-road stuff.
Very
Yep.
cool. Wow,
So,
wow.
Also running Sea-Doos, so we've got some PWCs there. And then we've obviously got all the off-road stuff for Yamaha, CFMoto, Can-Am, and Polaris.
Wow. So that's what, 5 brands?
We've got 4 main brands,
Yeah.
but you start breaking it up into, a Sea-Doo, even though it has the BRP badge, is nothing like.
Yeah, it's not the rest of the stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the same with the Spiders Rikers.
Yeah.
So you start breaking that down a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
we have 4 main lines. We got 2 smaller lines with Hammerhead and with KO.
Yeah.
But really, we've got a whole bunch of offshoots on those too.
Yeah, of course.
How does it work with the PWCs? Is it just it comes in just like a regular unit and any technician works on it? Do y'all have dedicated guys for them?
So we're still running a fairly small shop. Currently, I've only got 2 technicians over there. One was
Wow.
the technician that we opened up with, Jesse, who's just been fantastic. He came
cool.
down from one of our sister stores when we opened. And so he's been working on these things for a decade and a half now,
Nice.
which was great for us. Opening doors day one to go, hey, I have a tech that's got 10 years of experience.
Yeah.
We're okay.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
without that, I mean, it's like your entire service department has no inventory. You've got,
Yep.
you might have some super fresh guys, but they can't do the work.
Yep.
So having that experience is pretty incredible.
So you've got 2 techs. What is like the org chart for service? So service manager, how many advisors?
So right now I've got service manager and advisor, the same individual.
Okay.
And then we've got a service coordinator who's training to become kind of that next advisor
Nice.
role.
Good.
We've really been using that service coordinator role as kind of an advisor runner-up
Yep.
position.
Yep.
which
Advisor
is
and
great.
training.
Yep.
sure.
And that was something, I had never heard of a service coordinator coming from automotive before I met Emax.
Yeah. We met in the Service Management Academy. He went through the program. So
Yep.
that's how we
Trademark
worked together. Trademark.
Coordinator.
Not trademark for us. Coordinator.
But I mean, that was, that first class was Thursday, September 15th in 22, I think is when I met you.
Yeah.
It was our first kind of like
Man, that is...
in-class day.
It's on your calendar like Met Max.
Hey, it's one of those things, things get burnt into my brain.
Okay, good.
Don't ask me my birthdays for my kids. Kiddos, I love you. I promise it's nothing personal.
Oh,
It's the
man.
difference
but the
between
day-
dad at home and dad at work.
Yeah, those are different people. Yeah. Oh man, wow. So I didn't realize that the whole. I guess I did when we were starting up that the store was so fresh. It's just like so much has happened.
Yes.
And so, I feel like that's a good transition into the next giant part of your career. I
Yep.
mean, you made this huge transition from being the service manager into the general manager. Can you please just tell me how that happened first, and then what it's been like?
When did that happen?
Yeah.
So that was May 30th of 24.
Wow.
It was one of those things that happened quite suddenly. So the former GM was leaving. Had a couple of conversations with our CEO, William, ahead of time. Just days leading up to that of, hey, that's something you're interested in, something we could see you growing into.
Yeah.
And then, well, shoot, we're going to offer it to you.
It's like, how about right now? Yeah. Wow.
And so that
What
was,
did you? I guess your answer. It would be hard if your answer was like, I don't know, maybe you were just like, sure, I've never done it, but that sounds like a plan.
I have never been one to shy away from just jumping in feet first.
Yeah.
Marine Corps infantry at 18.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense.
Law enforcement as soon as I got out of that.
Yeah.
And then, well, shoot, if I can talk people into handcuffs, I can talk people about cars.
Yeah.
Straight into automotive and then
Yeah.
just getting stuck. And so it was one of those where
It's like, all right, next chapter.
It
let's
comes
start
up and it's like, yep.
Dude, that's
Who's
great.
my direct boss? Well, that's the GM. Okay. Well, do you want to be the GM? Yeah.
yeah,
100%. Let's do this.
Wow.
And so at the time that I started that, the very next day they had a gentleman come down from our sister store that was the sales manager that kind of helped balance that a little bit.
Okay, so you were put into the GM role, but actually a general sales manager. Are you doing general management and sales management too, or
Not day one. So day one I was GM
Okay.
with the sales manager.
you had a sales manager
Yes.
then? Okay.
And then February 25, we ended up losing our F&I guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And our sales manager filled in for that F&I role or went over to that F&I role.
Yeah. Did he have experience doing that before?
He did.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so he
That
had some
helped.
F&I experience and was very effective in that role.
That's great. Is he still doing that role?
He's actually out on injury right now. So.
Oh, I'm sorry
yep.
to hear that. Okay.
That's, it is what it is.
Okay.
One of the byproducts of riding motorcycles.
Yeah,
it
that
happens.
Yeah,
That
it
is-
happens.
That is part of it.
And so I went, a good 7 months into this or 7.5 months into this of, well, let's figure out how to run a store into, let's figure out how to run a store and be an operational sales manager at the same time
Yeah.
and oversee service and
What a different
parts
world, right?
and finance. And
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
just,
you took over front of house, actually entire
of it,
operation.
yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of which, you created a void when you left service. Who took over service for you?
So we did not hire another service manager
Holy
into
shit.
that role.
So you literally became the manager of everything. Maybe not pack, at least. Parts, accessories. Was that already somebody there?
No, there was nobody there at that part either.
Oh,
We're-
man.
we
Oh my God.
are the epitome of a tier 1, tier 2 store as far as, we don't have direct ownership that's overseeing things, but, that general manager role is also department manager for all other departments.
Wow. Yeah.
When we opened the store, that was not the case.
Really?
They had opened the store with a GM and with different department managers,
Yeah.
everybody except for the sales manager because our GM had a really strong sales background
Yep.
within our group. But we had a P&A manager. I had me as a
you,
service
yeah.
manager. And so as that kind of morphed and developed, we realized we weren't to the scale yet to be able to support all these different positions.
Yep.
And so it's all right, well, let's get down to the fundamentals.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got our producers and our reducers, and
Wow.
we don't have enough room for more reducers. So
So are y'all building back up?
yes, we're building back up in that direction.
You got a great service manager now, right?
Yep, but he's also service manager and advisor. So I mean,
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
splitting.
Well,
both
part of the
sides there.
building. I mean, at least you're not service manager anymore.
Well, but kind of am.
Yeah.
Because when he
'Cause
goes,
he has
all
to
right,
write service, yeah.
Yep. Well, let me pass this up to my boss. Well, that's me. He
Yeah.
doesn't have somebody else from that front line.
Well, thanks for sending
the
the
GM.
academy too. It's nice meeting you.
Oh,
Great dude.
Travis is a great guy.
Travis is the
Yep.
shit. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he
We
is.
had a very fun. That was the last service management academy that I taught in that group, and it was nice to. As I was leaving, I was like, I can't tell Travis I'm leaving, but one day I'll see Travis. We're just gonna go over to the shop, and check him out. But,
Yep.
Yeah, we need to go visit.
And a field trip. I drive out to you all the time.
Yeah,
We're gonna come
absolutely. You guys
visit
are more
your
welcome
shop.
to. Yeah, it is an interesting dynamic for the last year and a half.
Yeah,
Doing all that.
A lot of moving around. So
lot of
okay,
moving
so
parts.
you go into that position.
Yep.
Your F&I manager, or your sales manager leaves. Your F&I manager leaves. Sales
Yep.
manager becomes the F&I manager. When did you bring in Travis into that position? Like, was this all happening at the same time? And
So Travis actually got hired as our shipping and receiving
Really?
person.
Awesome. All right.
So kind of back of house for P&A.
Did he come from a Harley store already?
He did.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
he'd come from Harley, and Travis had a whole bunch of fixed ops experience.
Yeah.
And then we had our advisor at the time, who was the advisor that had opened up with me.
Yeah. Yeah. From auto.
Yep.
Okay.
Was leaving, going to Tennessee.
Okay.
And so we're looking for an advisor, and Travis is just kind of one of those logical, well, let's have a conversation with him, see if he's interested in it.
Yeah.
And he went, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
he
down for
jumped
the
right
challenge.
in.
Let's go do this.
Awesome. That's great. Man, it's so crazy. With the like what you're describing, it as we say it, it doesn't sound as wild, but we've lived that.
It's crazy.
It's
It's crazy.
insane. It's
Yes.
like, holy shit, it's all collapsing around me. Like, how am I going to keep this thing going?
Yep.
And you're moving stuff around and moving people, and everything feels, I don't know if this is how I felt at least. Everything feels like it's all failing. It's like, nope, nothing's working. Oh, fit this here, put this here. And then like, maybe then some of it starts to align and starts to pick back up. And like,
Yep.
man, I felt that about downstairs 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh shit, the parts are falling apart. You know, like here's the things we need to fix. And then it's just like, oh, well, we just sold a shit ton of motorcycles. Okay, well that kind of solved a bunch of problems. Oh, and the technician who said he was leaving is actually not leaving. And now we got our techs back. And now we got a service advisor. And like it was like within 1 week, like boop, 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 like everything's done.
Yep.
So was it a similar vibe of like,
You know, it's-
oh, what did I do?
100% of, oh my goodness, I bit off way more than I can chew.
Yeah.
There's the drinking from the fire hose, but this was more like staying at the base of Niagara Falls. Big difference. You know,
Yeah.
drinking from the fire hose, 100%, single manager, single department, yes. When suddenly you're in charge of the whole shebang and you're looking for a more adultier adult, and you realize, nope, that's me.
Yeah.
That's the exact vibe. You're like, somebody's got to know more than me around here, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everybody's going, well, boss, what do we do? And you're like, I have to have an answer. And I can't
just
say
making
I'll
it
get
up.
back to you on it.
Yeah.
As much as the truth is, sometimes we're going to figure this out the hard way. Congratulations, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to present it that way.
Yeah. I'm figuring out too. I don't know.
Yep. Those conversations are best had after the fact.
Yeah. So that time you asked me that really hard thing, I made it up.
Yep. So how do you think that went? Oh, you thought it went really good. Well, that's good.
So much of it is just like, it's not even about knowing the right thing to do. It's just like somebody being the one responsible for the decision.
Yes.
And like, it might be the wrong decision, but this is the decision we're making.
Yep.
So let's all just agree to listen to me, I guess.
Yeah. And it's one of those, you start getting into the personality traits that go into these different roles. And really early on into me being a GM, they gave me a personality test as I was going through some of the total management training that at the time was Spader was doing. It's now NCM with their DISC profile.
Yeah.
And found out that I was a high C, which kind of made sense for me. Very analytical type person.
Yep.
Very much let me look at the numbers.
Yeah.
I think you and me have had plenty of conversations relating to what math says we can and can't do.
Exactly.
To include, hey, I think you need to hire more people.
Yep.
Here's
the math. Here's the calculator to figure that out.
Yep.
Lots of those, for sure.
Here's my 2-page email response to you. I do that from time to time.
Yep. That's okay. That's acceptable.
Math over feelings.
Yeah.
Yes. When the numbers don't lie.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it just truly is that way.
Yep.
And that's something when we're talking about how the store moves and how things operate, and you start looking at productivity and production of individuals, the numbers don't lie.
Yep.
The situation can change, but the numbers are real.
So that's important. Know your numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that brings me to actually another question, right? You're stepping into this sales management role, and maybe you guys had a better structure for that, but I'm going to go back to way back when, I was running the sales or the service department here. At some point, my brother had been the general manager or sales manager of the front of house, and then he left before we sold, and so I became the general manager. I mean, I went through like a very similar like path of like, all right, I run back of house, I got that dialed, and I come to the front, and I'm like, oh, cool, it must run similarly, and it is not at all. Yeah, sales was like,
you talk about operating off the seat of your pants.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you want me to tell you exactly how much it's going to cost to replace the crankshaft in this particular vehicle? Awesome. I can use all the data I need to identify exactly what I'll charge you. Might not be exactly how long it's going to take me, but like I know what the bill will be.
Yep.
And then I go to the front thinking, man, we've got hundreds of motorcycles in stock. And if someone comes up to me and says, how much is that motorcycle? I thought like, that's easy. Like it's so easy. I just go like MSRP and then where you live. Great. Here's the details. But then it's like, well, you really want to sell that thing and it's been sitting here for a while. I'm like, okay, well, so how do you come up with a number? And it's like, well, you just, what?
Yeah.
You just
because
wing
it's that
it?
balance of I need it to leave. I need to stop paying on it sitting here. Floor plan's got to decrease.
And how much does that guy really want it? Because if I can get
100%.
more money out of him for the same, and so that feeling, and I would love to know how you start navigating that feeling of like, there needs to be some rules in this shit. This is like all emotion running this whole department that has the biggest risk out of the entire delership because it's all floored.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, how do you do that?
So one of the biggest things, and this is more so for the customers that are watching, I need you guys to understand our job as general managers and as department managers is to run a successful business to make sure that I'm here to take care of you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if I give everything away at cost or give everything away for less than I paid for it, I'm not open tomorrow, which means when your bike breaks, when you're ready to buy another one,
We're not here.
Sorry,
to fix
I'm
it.
not here.
Yep. Of course.
And so part of running that successful business is you need to give every customer the opportunity to pay all of the money. Now, does that mean, hey, I just have one set price and it's every dollar and I always ask for every dollar? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But these things all do have a legitimate dollar figure that does involve us making money. And you've got to start at or near that
Yeah.
in order to continue to run a successful business with it.
Of course.
As things age, as you start getting stuff that's
Where it gets interesting.
100 days, 180 days, 200 days, 300 days.
You're paying flooring interest on
365.
it. At some point, your interest is increasing to a point where your cost of the vehicle hasn't necessarily increased, but your cash
But it has.
outlay, it's going up, right?
But
And
the
your
cost of the
margin's
vehicle
not
has.
getting bigger. Yeah, so I'm just shrinking margin until literally there's a point where you could sell that thing at MSRP and still lose money.
Yep, 100%.
And that's the complicated
It's horrifying.
piece. It is. It happens so quickly too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at that decision of how that's going to happen,
Yeah.
it actually predates the bike even showing up at your store.
Yeah. Yeah.
That decision happens
Totally.
2 years before based off your seasonality trends.
Yep, and we're going to
that
order at
set
this
you
time.
Up, yeah, that sets you up for how many am I going to order? Because
Yeah.
how many did I sell the 3 months preceding a year ago today?
Yeah, that's such a good point. Yeah.
And so that is still a math problem that I have yet to figure out the exact solution for.
Yeah.
We've gotten close.
I freaking hope so.
Yeah.
It's been a long time in coming for me.
Yeah.
I'm used to being able to pick things up really, really quickly.
It's complicated. It is really complicated to know each unit exactly where it is in its lifespan and what you need to do.
Yeah, how do we get rid of, how do you match the
get
supply and
rid
the
of it.
demand so it's not an emotional decision, it's a logical decision.
100%.
One thing that we've been working on, and actually I'll show you after we wrap the podcast, it'll feel like it's a secret, but it's not really a secret. I mentioned it before in other shows too. We made this little tool to help us identify the price of the unit over time. It's just basically like saying, okay, I don't want to have a 2-year-old vehicle on the showroom floor because the margin, again, at MSRP, I'm still not making money. I'm losing money if I sell it at full price. So like, okay, there's got to be a good rate of reduction of price over time. And that at that point, the idea is there's some person out there willing to pay a certain price, and we're just going to put this on a slant until we hit that number for whoever that thing is. And we'll hold it at the full price for a certain amount of time. But as soon as that bank starts charging me interest, it's costing me more money for it to sit on the floor than to sit in somebody's garage. So what's the strategy? Anyway, I bring all that up because one of the things that we've really been trying here, and I'm saying trying because this is a lab. It is quite literally like, let's just see if this strategy works, is to remove the like haggling negotiation over price component by showing customers really like truly explaining how that depreciation happens over time. So it means that like if I've got a $13,000 motorcycle on the showroom floor and somebody goes, I'll buy it if you give it to me for 11, it's no longer like, well, let me go talk to my boss and see if we can whisper things to each other to figure out if that works. Instead it goes, oh, well, okay, 11. I go and I type in $11,000 and it says, here's the date. This bike will be worth $11,000. You can buy it at $11,000 on October 11th, 2027. And I go, awesome. I'll call you on that day. Perfect. It'll be yours. If it sells before that, then you don't get it at that price. We're going to get a new and it'll start at the top again. But like, I think the point was, this is just for my analytical C brain as well of like, I'm not going to determine the value of something personally. I feel bad determining the value based on how excited you are and how good of a job as a salesperson my salesperson did at like connecting with you and making you feel like this is going to make your life better. So instead of being like, you really liked the show I put on, right? Let me show you how much I can take advantage of you now. Like that feels wrong. But if I have a structure, then I can be transparent, and that feels like what customers need. So what is that model like? Is that something that you guys as a dealership group have put together? Is that something you do on an individual basis? How do you manage it?
So that's something, when we look at the dealer group does not dictate how much an individual store sells a bike for. We all operate very much as standalone stores.
Nice. Okay.
In that. Now, that's not saying you don't get berated and given a hard time for selling bikes for less.
Yeah, the choice that you made to sell for. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. But as far as, do I have a calculator to be able to plug it into? No. And the biggest frustration I run into that is the seasonality side of it.
Yeah, of course.
So say we are looking at, a Sea-Doo. Okay. I may have had a Sea-Doo that's only on my property for 90 days.
Yep.
But if I'm at the end of the season, I've got another 120, 180 days before this actually is legitimately going to sell again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily where's it at age-wise right this moment, but where's it going to be age-wise when I actually think it's going to roll?
Yeah. That's a really
And
great
so
point. Yep.
you start dealing with some of that, and I know you guys on the two-wheel stuff run into it too.
Oh, absolutely.
A 200-day-old Ducati on November 1st
Yeah.
might as well be a 300-day-old
Exactly.
on February 28th.
Yep. Agreed. So it's like this. The window is closing.
Yes.
And so it's more urgent now to sell it than later on. So
And then you start dealing with any of the MAP pricing stuff. You start dealing with any of the protected prices where I can only advertise it for so much.
Right.
Yep.
And the advertised price isn't necessarily the price that I have to sell it at. I can sell it for whatever I want
Exactly.
to. But how do I initiate that conversation with the
market it.
customer
I know. And
without violating that?
And I completely understand MAP policy. I get that it's about making sure we don't all become this race at the bottom, but it does make it complicated that online it says I sell it for this price, but I'm getting strangled by the bank. I've got inventories that I need to get rid of. Like, stores are closing because they're getting strangled by banks right now. That's like that's the reason why it's happening. So like, of course I'm going to make a sweetheart deal. But when that starts happening, and there's no answer, there's no solve to this that I know right now. But like when you go on the website and it's like, yep, that bike is at this full price, and you come in and go, I can make a much better deal than that. It doesn't feel like we're showing transparency, which is what the customer ultimately wants.
Yeah.
So,
and back to your primary question of, hey, what do you use to dictate this?
Yeah.
Fundamentally, we look at it in one of two ways. Is this bike over or under 100 days old?
Yeah. Okay. That's your threshold.
You start hitting triple digits, bike needs to leave.
Yeah.
Because so quickly will you run out of seasonality for that bike. And especially down here in the deep south, I mean, you think midsummer is a great time to sell mud machines. Well, it's not.
No.
Just before midsummer and just after midsummer.
We get these two bumps in our season. Yeah.
And so it's one of those where suddenly you can have a bike that was hot 35, 40 days ago, that it's too hot outside for that to be a hot bike right this minute.
Yeah.
But in 30 days it will be.
Yeah, exactly.
And so really we just start looking at at that 100-day mark, this thing's got to leave.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, the working seasonality into that strategy is definitely the next step of like, how do you, there's so many moving pieces of what happens, and how do you intelligently decide?
Well, and then you start working seasonality, you start working in unit type, you start working in the different buyers, because your guy who's buying a sport bike, two-wheel, and the guy who's buying an adventure style two-wheel, not the same guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Their buying cycles as a customer way different.
Yep. And what they're going to do with it is different. Yes. So their use of seasonality, their use of it's going to be different.
Yep. Yeah. Because your Adventura style guy, your adventure bike, 100% riding during the winter. That's okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I've got the proper gear. I've got the proper equipment.
They're not staying south.
No.
They're getting the hell out of here.
They're going all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter when they're buying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Compared to your sport bike guy, man, it hits 55 outside, and he's like, oh, too brisk for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so I am a big believer that some of the best general managers I've ever worked with have been service managers first. Like, they come from fixed ops, and then they go to that position because the structure and strategy and staffing and all that stuff that's required to run not just, we have the most amount of staff in a service department, right? So all the personalities and all the stuff, and your labor is your inventory, and so it's people's time and the personalities that go along with it. It's like crazy to manage that. So if you could take that skill set and bring it up to the front and start standardizing some of the stuff, it's like seems pretty incredible. With that being said,
if you can get it to work.
If you can get it to work. So that starts off as a compliment. So good job.
I appreciate that.
Best GMs are old service managers, so that includes you. Or current service managers, however you want to look at it.
Right.
But what are some of the things that you think came directly from your experience being a service manager into that role?
So instead of talking about successes, I'll talk about struggles on that one.
Yeah.
One of the biggest frustrations, or one of the biggest hiccups that I ran into with making that transition from that service manager and having everything have a structure to that whole house operation is, yes, there's a ton of personalities in a service department, but fundamentally there's really only two that you need. I need my front of house person who's great with customers.
Yep.
And I need a back of house person who would rather not talk to anybody
and just bang out work.
Yeah. Okay?
From the service side, we used to call that back of house. Those are my ugga-duggas. Okay?
Yeah.
And traditionally, service and parts don't necessarily get along, so we used to refer to parts as bean counters.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
When you start looking at the entire house, the entire operation there, well, now I'm no longer just trying to find two really good personality types that fit things.
Yeah.
Trying to find your person, your hype guy, your guy who's strong closer, somebody who's very, very confident in what they talk about, what they do for that front of house sales side.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that really knowledgeable, able to make sure that everything they're saying is factually accurate without just talking too much.
Yep.
For that F&I guy.
Yeah.
You're trying to get coming from a service side, thought was just bean counters for P&A guys. By the way, guys, it's not.
Yeah, there's a lot more to them.
Hang tight for me.
Yeah.
Where you've got your front of house person who's really good with customers on the counter.
Yep.
And part of that sales turnover.
Yeah.
Who almost is a sales guy personality.
Yep.
Who also can look up parts.
Yeah.
Which,
what
a combination there. That's
and
a
then
hard
your
one to find.
back of house and parts who really is more of your bean counter type role of, yes, I can talk to customers if I have to, but I'm really shy and bashful
leave
about
me
it.
alone. I gotta get this stuff organized.
Yes.
I got to count
Exactly.
bins. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've got 4 different manufacturer orders that have to go in by this time, this time, this time, this time. I have to make sure there's certain dollar amounts to hit so that I get free shipping. I have to make sure that everything's in its location where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And so you get that personality mixed in with it. So I went from going, hey, I can figure out personalities, that's fine, only having to really truly find 2 really good ones,
Yeah, of course.
to now going, oh man,
This whole roster of different personalities. But you have to know which ones fit and how to manage them.
yep. And I'm still in the learning curve on that one.
Yeah.
That's something where for a long time I was worried about team cohesion.
Yeah.
And the longer that I'm doing this and the more that I'm getting good coaching from those above me, a cohesive team is great. Nobody's upset about having a cohesive team and a team that gets along.
Yeah.
However, a cohesive team that gets along and is, no, they can do that one. No, they can have that one. It's also a team that's not producing at the highest
Right.
level.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
And so that was a learning curve for me of, I'm less interested in, does everybody get along?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And almost the part where, well, they don't like them is beneficial.
You need some hunger.
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
competition.
Yeah.
And even within the departments, you almost have to have that.
You know what's
and
funny?
That was hard for me to figure out because coming from service side,
Yep.
I wanted advisors who had each other's back, and I wanted techs who were willing to jump in and do anything that I asked at any point in time.
Right.
Agreed. And is that, do you still find that to be true in service?
I do,
When you're
100%.
on now, but it's just the front of house is like actually the little bit of rub works.
Good. It's good.
Wow, God, what a
when you
difference.
look even at the tech side, I want techs who are willing to jump in and do anything, but I want a tech that is competitive enough
Yeah, it's good.
against his peers that he will get the work done as quickly and completely as he can.
Yeah, he sees that proficiency number and he's like, I'm gonna be on top of that board.
100%.
Yeah, that's such a fine line with technicians. You need technicians that are willing to be a team player,
Yes.
and then
That are also selfish.
Also don't want to don't
Yeah.
want to give shit away.
Yeah.
That are constantly monitoring their numbers.
Yep. And the best way that they don't give stuff away as a tech solely comes down to, I'm able to get it done right the first time, quicker than everybody
Yep.
around me, so
Yep.
I can get the next one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And when it comes to like dispatching out work on that, and this is something that it doesn't matter how well you know it, you can always get better at it.
Yeah.
If the text box is full and he knows he's got good work there for a week,
Yeah.
he's going to slow down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Just is.
Yep.
I know I'm getting a paycheck at the end of this week.
So how do you delegate that work out?
Well, here's the part where nowadays I'm not. Nowadays
Yeah.
I'm teaching Travis how to do that.
Yeah, good.
But with us only having 2 techs there, and I've got 1 tech who's got a ton of experience, and I got 1 tech who's very, very
Very
early,
green. Yeah.
where it's like, ooh, my A tech knows he's got a bunch of work. Whether
Yeah,
it's sitting in his
yeah.
box or not.
So he's slowing down because he can.
Well, this is where that personality side comes in of if we as managers are able to keep him moving, which means that we have to be more frequent in the shop. We have to be more frequent passing through.
Yep.
We have to be very, very intentional about our conversations with employees of, man, he knows he's got work for 2, 3, 4 weeks
Yeah.
because the other guy just physically can't handle some of that work that's there.
Yeah.
So I can't let him slow down. I have to keep him motivated and going.
Yeah.
And so some of that comes into, you know what their interests and their hobbies are.
Yeah.
If you know what he likes to do on the free time, for this technician, Jesse, it's fishing. So if I can
cool.
go and start having some fishing conversations with him, and he talks about the next toy he wishes to buy,
Yeah.
then it keeps the money side of that front and
Yeah, that's
in
cool.
his brain of, okay, cool. Well, hey, man, it looks like you got a bunch of work back there. Anything I can do to help stage the next couple for you?
Yeah. What you're looking at right now is Deal Builder by Onyx. Now, Deal Builder is the very first application that is available on the Onyx platform. And it's all about making it easier for customers to buy from dealerships. Now, when we started that turnaround project where we came into our old dealership and tried to modernize it and give customers better experiences to keep them coming back more, this was the very first tool that we built. And the reason is we noticed that our front end profit was horrible. And by creating Deal Builder and using it for a couple months inside of this store, we immediately doubled the front end margin of our products. So all of the motorcycles selling through this dealership were making twice as much gross profit as they were before, which made the store so much healthier. So here's what we've now built commercially available for you, so you can try it out as well. So if you look at this view, you can see not only is there a personalized video you can create for every individual quote you send to every individual customer, but you also can upload any photos of those vehicles so that the customer can see your exact vehicle on your showroom floor. Scroll directly below that and you can see a timeline, basically how much longer this particular quote and these numbers are going to last. And you can change that. That expiration date will be whatever you want to and create that countdown for it. Scroll slightly lower and you'll see any accessories. If you wanted to add accessories to a quote, you can do it very easily on the back end of this, and the customer can turn those accessories on and off, seeing the effect that it has on their down payment and their monthly payment. Keep scrolling and you'll find the trade-in information. That's where we can have any listed information for what they may be bringing in. That includes the approximate value, the approximate payoff they have for it, and ultimately the equity that would be bringing into this deal. Scroll slightly lower and you'll see the really engaging, exciting, and interesting part, and that is the finance options tool. I think of this like the old school Foursquare, but modernized. Nobody really likes using a Foursquare, so what was the psychology behind that? Why did it work? Well, it's because in a Foursquare, the top two numbers in the Foursquare are the dealership's numbers. You know, it's what I would give in trade. It's what the vehicle's price is. The bottom two numbers are the numbers the customer is in control of. It's their down payment and monthly payment. So it's their numbers, their money, not the dealership's money. So the Foursquare's concept was always to make sure the numbers that are being adjusted are customer money, not dealership money. And we took that same concept and applied it in a much more modern, much more transparent way that doesn't feel quite as used car salesy. So if you look down here in the finance or the payment details and down payment, you can scroll this from your 20% down all the way down to 0 or all the way up. This just allows the customer to pick what their terms should be. Below that, we can see their loan term. So maybe they don't want to finance for 60 months. They'd rather go 84. And that will change the down payment and monthly payment, depending on what are those terms that are set up for them. Their credit rating, maybe they'll say, I have absolutely incredible credit. Well, I don't need to do a credit pull yet just to tell you approximately what that would be if you did, in fact, have great credit. So I scroll that all the way up to the very top, and now it'll show me exactly what that down payment and monthly payment is, all within the acceptable parameters. This means that now the customer can scroll down and not only see the specific details of their quote, but they can click right here and apply for financing, which is going to bring them right over to your website to fill in that credit application. This isn't an all-encompassing tool that connects with every other thing and does every single step of the job for you. We created one small, inexpensive plugin that just allows you to do one step of your process a lot faster and easier and smoother and in a modern, interactive way. Now, this is the first of many small interactive applications that will all begin working together in a cohesive ecosystem on that Onyx platform. So go sign up for the Onyx platform. It is absolutely free. And then sign up for this application, this deal builder application. This application is $30 a month for your entire store. So everyone can use the same application. Everyone can see all those quotes that are out. You can see how many times it's been viewed by the customer. You can see if they've sent it to a friend. You can see all the information they accepted when they clicked on apply for financing. So it really streamlines the process and makes it a lot easier and faster for you. And I am so certain that it's going to double the front end margin of your major unit sales that we're giving you the first 30 days absolutely free. So sign up. Try it. If you hate it, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't double your margin, just cancel. There's absolutely nothing you're going to lose. Just try it out. Tell us what you think. Give us any feedback. And we'll continue to make really cool tools for dealership operators, for dealership staff, by dealership operators and staff. So enjoy this tool. Go sign up at platform.onyx.io or simply visit onyx.io and it'll direct you right over to that area and we'll get you started. Thank you so much. Enjoy it. How far out are you guys right now?
Diagnostic, we're about 2 days out.
Okay.
Once parts get in, we're just a couple of days of getting something in.
So you're not looking for more techs yet, are you?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, really?
I'm always looking for good techs.
Yeah. If you had another tech, or if you could increase your proficiency, do you think you'd find the work would come in to be able to?
Oh,
fill it?
I will go knock on people's doors and find work.
Awesome.
100%. There are plenty of shops around us.
Yeah.
That are drowning in work.
Yep.
I'm not concerned about turning that spigot on.
So what about, I'm going to put you on the spot here with this one. What about you've got the coordinator role training up to be advisors, right?
Yep.
So you're growing front of house,
Yep.
Which is great. But once you have 2 advisors, man, you need more techs than that. What about your tech and training or expediter role, speeding up your Jessies and?
Yep. So we do have an expediter.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Our expediter also is our driver.
Okay. Yep.
So
very
a
common.
little bit of a dual split,
Especially with a two tech shop. That's
Yep.
pretty common.
Now I've got 2 mainline techs.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got 4 that are build and accessory techs.
Oh, cool.
And then I've got 1 apprentice under Jesse.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Okay. So it's
So-
a bigger operation. I was thinking 2 in total. You got 4 builders and 2.
Yep.
techs?
So I've
Okay,
got
great.
7 guys back at house.
Yeah.
Not including the expediter.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Cool.
And so as far as when we're talking turn-in wrenches, and they varying levels of experience,
Yeah,
varying
of
levels
course.
of ability. I've got a builder accessory installer back there who used to be an A-line tech years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Back before he got injured and decided, man, I need to slow down. I do
Yeah.
not wish to chase hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hurt too much to do it.
That's cool. Yeah. At least he knows. But he's a good tech.
He's a fantastic tech.
Yeah.
He's not a computer guy. So he comes
okay.
from carburetor world.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I've got a bunch of kid bikes that come in that have carburetors.
Yeah.
And when we're trying to do warranty stuff, especially on youth units, the warranty pay on youth units is rough.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So to have an hourly build
yeah, that's
accessory
great.
guy
that can step in and do a little bit of the
and help take up some of that work
Yeah, like
that we
really-
still have to take care of our customers regardless. I'm not going to tell the customer, sorry, it doesn't pay great. I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know.
so this is making sense. The coordinator moving into advisor, 2 advisors for 7 techs being internals as well does make sense.
Yep.
Is the coordinator already doing like internal PDI builds?
Yep.
or-
So she's already handling internal PDI stuff.
Sweet.
She's helping with customer updates.
Good.
She is as much of a dual purpose role as we're comfortable with at this point.
Is it was this the one that did Travis bring her in when he was in the Service Management Academy?
Yep. So
same one. Awesome.
Yep.
So she's been there for a little while now.
Yeah. Yeah. She's been there for a bit
6,
now.
8 months.
Shoot. That's a good question.
Yeah.
We got to be close to a year at this point.
Yeah, that's great. That's
So,
really great.
and she has just open arms, man, let's tackle it, let's learn
That's
it.
awesome.
She's helping with the actual filing of the warranty claims. She's helping with
Good.
the actual back end of stuff.
So she knows how to use Lightspeed now, or what?
Yes.
What's your DMS? Is it
Yep.
Lightspeed?
Yeah, we use Lightspeed.
Knows how to use Lightspeed. Knows how to work with customers now. I mean,
Yep.
it's like an easy transition into that
Yep.
role.
So say something happens with Travis, say he's sick,
yeah,
family
yeah.
situation happens.
immediately, and that's about.
He just takes a couple days off.
Yeah, that would be nice.
We're not
Yeah.
crippled.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? The shop still keeps running.
Yeah.
Because it
Are you
doesn't.
feeding in when you make that? When eventually that move happens, you feed in more coordinators, or
yeah.
is it going to be okay? So it'll immediately like that role needs to exist.
So when we end up moving her to an advisor in the future, we will hire another coordinator for her to train before we move her into the advisor role.
Yeah. Great.
Because that coordinator role is just too important for the way the shop operates.
course.
To have a void there or have an untrained individual.
Yeah.
Especially while I've got somebody who's trying to go, okay, now I'm going to full-time focus on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly the way it should work.
Yep. It really
In a
is.
perfect world, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any roles right now you are? I mean, you said you'll always hire a technician, but there's like an active looking for people in a particular position right now?
Looking for mainline techs, looking for salespeople.
Okay. Salespeople too?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. The sales side, and this goes back to that personality side. For a long
Yeah.
time, I was really worried about everybody getting along.
Yep.
Well, that didn't work great on the sales side. Because we
Dude.
had a bunch of people who were okay with, no, he can have that one.
Yeah.
Well, now nobody's pushing.
Yep. What's funny is, when we took over the store to do the turnaround, so back in July, we do these really big delve analysis before we work with any store. And the delve analysis is like a super intensive. We study the finances and the inventory and then like everything. And then like literally the physical space. We do anonymous surveys of staff. We do interviews with staff. Before we ever step in, the anonymous survey always comes back, and this store had one of the highest satisfaction ratings of staff that we had ever seen. It was like everybody absolutely loved it. They loved the people they worked with. It was a family. They felt good about it. So we walk in, and I'm like, dude, this is great. Like I like that everybody has each other's backs, and they're all talking about that. And they're
But we're losing $70,000 a month.
yeah,
So everybody's having a great, good, jolly old time.
yeah, they were having a
So one thing
lot
I
of fun.
one
Not
thing I
doing any
learned
work,
the
though.
hard way is people really do enjoy working at a place if they're not being pushed to be successful.
Oh, exactly.
You mean I
If
can
there's
show
no
up,
pressure,
get
it's really fun.
yes,
It's
get
just
a-
motorcycles all day hanging out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
So,
yeah, learn that the hard way.
yeah. So there is going to be a little bit of like, there's got to be, and it's not like this purposeful rub. I don't want your job to be hard and to suck, but I do want you to recognize that like we're pushing. We're going to be pushing all the time. That's
We're
part
pushing,
of the
and
job.
I expect not only that I push you, but you push the person next to you, and they're going to push you back.
Yep. Yeah. There's going to be that amount of work.
Yep.
All right. So in these roles, what are the hardest positions you think to fill? Is it the ones you're looking for now?
Probably the hardest position for me to fill as an individual is that frontline sales guy.
Yeah.
And that's just because when I look at something, I'm looking at something so much through an analytical math lens.
Yeah.
That I have not found what my equation is during an interview with a sales guy.
Yeah, to say like, are you good or bad? I have no idea.
And so there's been a whole bunch of trial and error there. So me personally, hiring front end sales is by far my biggest
it's so
weakness.
risky too, because it's like I'm going to hire this guy in because I don't know if you interview well, and then you're the first person my customers talk to. So
and you have the biggest potential to burn the most expensive type of customers I get. Because bringing a new customer in is freakishly expensive.
Yeah.
And if I've got the
And
wrong
you
guy
could
up
really
front,
screw this up for me.
if I got the wrong guy up front who may burn 2 or 3 in a day, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Not
that's
only did I
overwhelming.
pay him to be there, but I paid him to lose me money.
Exactly.
And then you start getting that anybody can be somebody for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, you can wear a mask for a certain period of time.
Yeah, they can be excited and act into it, and so you have to wait that long before you're like 3 months in, then we start seeing your true colors come out.
And hopefully, if they are not the person that fits, you see that much earlier.
Yeah.
There's a fantastic theory of hire fast, fire faster. Which is terrible for us empathetic people.
Yeah, totally. You're like, but they had a lot of great excuses though.
Yeah, 100%. And that is the other side that is by far my biggest weakness on that is I wish to see the people, especially that I picked up, that I feel responsible for.
Of course.
I wish to see them succeed. And so I wish to no, it's okay this time. We'll work on it. We'll get better at this.
Yeah.
When it should be no, you've messed that up 2 times in 2 days. We talked about this yesterday. You said you understood it. It's time for us to part ways.
Yeah, what's funny, I feel like after having kids, I feel like a better manager because people, I can understand what they're going through and empathize a little better. But actually, before I had kids, I made more money as a manager usually.
Yes.
I didn't give a shit about your kids being homesick from school. And now I'm like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little, it is a tough one. Like, something you have to be able to drive people hard enough to not break them. God, that sounds so bad to say like
does.
that.
But it's different for you than it is for me, than it is for him.
Yeah.
I mean, just across the board, every employee that you're working with is different in how hard can I push before I break?
Yeah.
And how hard do I need to push for you to produce at the best that you can?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not about pushing them in a way that they don't, that we're I don't know, trying to manipulate more out of them than is possible. It's like, I want to make sure that you are the best version of yourself when you show up. And
100%.
So we've got to train, we got to push, we got to look at numbers, we got to and then of course it would be a hell of a lot easier if you just showed up and didn't have to do any of that shit.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely would.
That's the default mode. Like, we're going to go back to that unless there's that constant pressure from the GM.
Yep. So one of the things that I've learned to be able to have a very open, honest conversation with a lot of the people that work for me is when you show up to work and when you're here all day, do you expect to get paid for 100% of that day or 80% of that day?
Yeah.
Okay. So every single person you talk to goes, well, I expect to get paid for all the time that I'm here.
Yeah.
Perfect. As somebody who's paying you, do you think it's reasonable for me to expect that I get 100% of your efforts or only 80% of your efforts?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if those numbers don't match, maybe we're just not a good fit for each other.
Yeah.
Because I plan on paying you for everything you're here for.
Yep.
In return, I need you to produce
be here
for
the whole
everything you're here
time
for.
producing, yeah.
And whether that's
great
a
way to look at it.
commission-based position, whether that's an hourly position, those conversations fundamentally are the same.
Yeah.
And just because this is something that I understand and am able to do doesn't mean I have mastered the actual effect of landing that every time.
We've all read the books, yeah.
And so there's still that learning curve with me where you sit down, you start having that conversation, and then 9 other things pop up, and then you can't remember if you finished the conversation all the way.
Yeah.
So you go back to rehab it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe it's now we're 2 or 3 days into it, and well, shoot, have I changed expectations after they've already started?
Yeah.
Does it feel like I'm adding stuff onto them when I'm not?
Yeah.
So it just is, there's so much that goes into it.
It seems like you've really embraced the general management role. Is there anything you miss about like the service management? Would you go back into the management or advising? I mean,
just hearing you talk about hiring salesmen, I'm just like, I just want to go back to my service department. And I never thought I'd say that.
I mean, that's one of those, if I wish to regain free time,
Yeah.
or wish to, not wake up in the middle of the night going, oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Then sure, yeah, I'd go back to doing that. Mm-hmm. I would hate myself for doing that.
Yeah. For
I'm
going
just
backwards
not
there.
the guy who I've never turned down a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I just don't fail. We're
That's
just
cool.
that's not on the radar.
Yeah. So having this meeting right now or this podcast right now, it would be crazy to not bring up technology and what things are changing.
100%. AI is such a huge role.
Yeah. So are you guys, what do you do? Are you using AI in any
Absolutely.
way? How so?
Yep.
What are you doing?
So the CRM we use, which I'll talk more about
Yeah,
off
yeah.
air, I got no
Yeah,
problem
sure,
with that.
whatever.
But there's far too many people in the local area here that are competition to us.
Yeah.
For me
Yeah.
to just open book everything
Yep,
on it.
of course.
100% utilizes some AI for mining customers and
Nice.
handling some of our back end stuff of, hey, you haven't talked with the sales guy in a couple of days, just check and make sure everything's good,
Yep.
type of thing. It's the system, the way it operates is very conversational.
Yeah, that's cool.
So-
is it writing? Is it writing the emails or drafting things and messages to the customer, or is it handling it for them?
No, it's handling the entire conversation
Wow.
via text or email,
Yep.
as well as responses.
Wow.
And so the time when it tags and goes, hey, I need a person, is if customers start saying that they're having an issue with anything at all,
Yep.
anything that's a negative feedback,
Yep.
automatically triggers one of us. Anything that's a buying type conversation automatically triggers one of us.
Yep.
Anything that's a service type or parts type thing. So when the customer goes, hey, I need this part, or hey, I was interested in this bike, or hey, I'm having this problem with my bike, person gets
Yeah,
triggered.
just immediately.
When it's just the, hey, just checking in, it's been a while since we talked to you, and the customer goes, oh, everything is great, thanks so much. It's like, yep, not a problem, let us know if you
All
need
still
anything.
handled, yep.
And it just stays in the background, and it's not something that pops up on our radar. We have the ability to go in, look at every conversation, review every conversation. We do very regularly.
Yeah.
But it is a continuous just kind of churning that customer base and ensuring that we stay somewhat fresh. And the best part is as an operator, you want to know when your customer has a problem.
Absolutely.
For sure.
The worst thing that could happen is the customer go, well, my bike broke down 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
Well, because I just didn't feel like you guys would do anything about it.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, man. Like,
Yeah,
you've been
be
dealing with a broke bike
proactive.
for 4 months
Yeah.
compared to if you
Thinking
call, you
proactively.
initiate that.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
big.
suddenly- Yep.
So you saw some pretty big changes launching this new.
So we launched that in January.
Okay.
And yes, we've seen some big changes. It has helped bring to light a whole bunch of stuff where we've turned over most of the sales staff since January.
Wow.
So I've got one that was before January that's still with me right now, just because as we're getting in and we're watching how this system operates, as well as it records all calls that happen through it. It gives you
Wow.
synopsis of how things are going.
So
it
you can
flags
see-
you when a customer's having a problem. So say a salesperson and a customer are texting back and forth, and the customer goes, man, I just don't like the way you guys do business. Well, that alerts me
Yeah.
that this is occurring, that this conversation's happening.
If you just had a sales guy get that and go, screw
Oh,
that
that
guy.
lead's dead.
Yeah. You suddenly
Yeah.
don't know about
Yep.
it anymore.
So it's very much set up, and this isn't on the AI side, but it's very much set up of the salesperson has no ability to spoof a contact with a customer.
Yeah.
The
Right,
call
it
is
is.
recorded, the text message is
The
recorded,
emails,
emails
are
are
recorded. It's all in one centralized
Yes, you open
correspondence.
up the customer card, and it's just, I can scroll down and see everything that's occurred back and forth, all of our internal notes, all of our messages to each other.
Yeah.
Everything, text message, email, phone call, in chronological order for that customer.
Wow.
For no matter how many deals they do, all that still exists for the one customer.
God, that's incredible.
And so there's some huge benefits to this where it brought up some skeletons out of the closet where we went, oh, I was losing a bunch of deals because of this individual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guy.
And people above me that kind of are watching how things were going would bring up like, oh, are you sure they're doing everything they're supposed to? And prior to that, with my scope of what I saw, yeah.
You'd say like,
They're kicking butt. They're doing the best they can. We're good to go.
wow. And you'd have
Man.
no real
And then
idea.
this pops up and went, ooh,
Yeah.
never mind. I was so wrong.
And it'll help the hiring process because everybody that you hire now is like, here's what we use. Here's our process.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's implied. There's no hiding anything. You do your job and everything's good.
incredible.
Yep. And the one that I've still got with me from before us making the switch, 100%. When we hired him, he's been with us, he's got to be close to 8 months now. Hired him month 1, month 2, all-star.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, really started lagging.
Yeah.
Switched over to the new system, had a couple of those hard conversations.
Yeah.
Had some of those conversations, one that ended in a suspension.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he pulled his boots up and decided, no, I'm going to be successful at this.
Yep.
And you're like, I'm here. This is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
And with the use of this system, now it's just taking back off on stuff.
That's
Yeah, you
very
embraced
cool.
it. Not scared of it,
Correct.
embracing it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And don't get me wrong, he's one of the louder critics of the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it prompts, all right, hey, you got to send this customer a video. Hey, you got to text this
Yeah.
customer. Hey, you got to shoot this customer an email.
That
And
just
he's
seems
like-
great for a salesman.
Yeah. I,
Like a
you got my day
salesperson,
planned
like
out for me.
rather than
Perfect.
just like sitting there and thinking, all right, I've got to figure out how to build my entire thing and remember everything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah. Just
Well,
tell me
Tell
what
me
to
what to do.
I would love that as well. But you got to remember, people take the path of least resistance whenever it's humanly possible.
Yeah.
And so if the path of least resistance is, I'd rather shoot him a text than send a video,
Yeah.
then that default, when I've got 50, 60, 70 people to follow up with in a day is, well, I texted them, can't the video go away?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can't send the video.
Yeah.
Of course. That is. Are you using this in service as well, or is it just a sales?
Right now, it's just a sales side.
Okay.
And they're trying to incorporate use with service. Us using Lightspeed, these systems don't talk yet.
That's the worst. The worst.
It's something we're being told is in process,
Yep.
but they have not given us a timetable on when that is.
They don't do it fast.
Yep. And not only do they not do it fast, but even then, trying to piece together in my brain of how service operates
Yeah.
and how that happens.
Of moving pieces.
A lot of
you
moving
know all the moving. For someone, a general manager didn't come from service. It's easy to say, "Oh my God, we could just automate
figure
all
it
this
out."
stuff."
Yep.
You're like, "Oh," but the amount of moving pieces to make that.
There's a
thing run?
reason.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason that the amount of CRMs available is just countless, and there's
Yes.
new ones constantly.
Yeah.
And there's very rarely, if ever, any tools made for service departments.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's so complicated.
Yep.
You have to be not only a fixed ops person to get it and develop it, you have to be specific to Powersports.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And coming
It's
from
even more
automotive, I had no idea that you had to be specific to Powersports. I thought service was service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Very
goodness.
different. Yeah.
Drastically different.
Yeah.
And, is a tech still a tech? Yes.
Yeah. Of course.
But the training involved with it's drastically different.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
apprenticeship programs are drastically different.
No kid.
Your front of house stuff, drastically different.
Yeah.
Because of the labor that's involved with every warranty claim
Yeah.
through these multiple different manufacturers. Compared to coming from Ford, man, they only had a couple different ways that could happen.
Yeah.
And once you learn those couple different ways, depending on which extended service they had through Ford, that was it. You're
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. You're one
Yeah.
brand.
Yep.
You have one thing to do. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Compared to, okay, well, we're doing a Polaris one on this, but I just got done doing a Can-Am one over here, and, that CFMoto guy's having some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that's so interesting. In the auto world, yes, you're right. We've got this like single line dealerships, which makes it so much easier, this flagship model.
Yep.
And flagships just aren't as obviously as common. It happens in our industry, not as common, because there's risk in carrying just one line. When you
yeah.
have multiple lines, you spread that risk a little more. We got more opportunities. We've got more people riding different things. But when you sign up for a manufacturer, and actually with you guys, it's a great example. Like you've got, you start with CMW, or no, it's not CMW, with Can-Am,
Yep.
and then you start bringing on more and more and more. And like each one you bring on adds this level of complication.
Yes.
But when you sign on your dealer agreement, they tell you, okay, here's the units you're going to get. Here's how you need to work on them. Here's how you submit your warranty claims. And then here's like dealer meetings to show up to. All right, good luck.
Yep.
It's nothing about actually how to run the business.
No.
It's not like here's how
Yeah.
you check people in. Here's how you schedule work. Here's how you find
It's
technicians.
just you're allowed to sell our stuff now.
yeah, it's
and
like
work on it.
figure the rest of it out.
And here's all the rules that'll get you in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's it. Just avoid those things.
Not here's best practices.
Yeah.
Here's the no-nos.
Yep, here's the landmines. And good
So
luck.
here's how your showroom needs to look, and here's how much you need to spend on that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and we don't care that those other two manufacturers wanted your ceiling this color.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
wanted this color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this section of your ceiling has to be this color. It's like it's insane. It's totally insane. And so it is funny that like the best, so much of what we're trying to do as general managers of stores or as like trying to try out different models is trying to say, we're not trying to swap out manufacturers or we're just trying to say, how do you actually run this incredibly complicated puzzle we've created in the most efficient way possible? And the new CRMs are doing some incredible stuff. Some of the stuff that we're trying out is really fun and exciting.
Yep.
And it's like, it's just, I do feel like there's a little bit of having trained 9 years working with stores all around the country, everybody does it differently. And so to standardize that system in existing models is like crazy complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Like talking about how do you schedule service? You're like, there's 100 different ways to do it. And,
Yep.
and there's 100 ways all work differently for every person. And so you are very right. A CRM front of house makes a lot of sense. Using that AI in the back of house is just going to be like, it feels more like you need to build a bespoke thing for your actual store and exactly how that operation goes. So is that anything you're dabble in or you're trying out these days?
So, I mean, I utilize AI in many facets of what I do throughout the day. A lot of in the forms of the chat GPT, the Grok type stuff.
Yeah, just communicating.
Big time communication stuff, especially when it's the mass amount of social media stuff that we handle and do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Replying to customer comments, replying to survey results, all that stuff. I mean, just Google surveys alone.
Yep.
Getting in there
really
and-
pulls out the emotion that I was going to say that in a lot ruder way.
Yeah, and the ones I seem to struggle with the most are the ones that are good jobs.
Yeah. Like, how do I?
Believe it or not, I have some strong opinions when somebody's like, "You guys suck," and I'm like, "Well, hold on here, buddy."
I'm gonna look up every single invoice we ever had. With you. Yep, exactly.
Yep, man, that's funny. You've yelled at my people the last 3 times you showed up, and this time they said, "Sir, if you're going to talk to me that way, I can't help you." And now I'm the bad guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know something? You suck.
Those ones I find it helps save my bacon a lot more
Yeah,
than
of
anything
course,
else because
of course.
I copy paste it in and I go, "Here's the point I want to make," and it
Yeah.
goes, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
and I get to have that little bit of a litmus test ahead
Yeah,
of time, and I
yeah.
get to read a couple of options to go, "This one sounds like I'm not losing my career."
Yeah.
No, but the positive feedback ones are the ones that are really big for me.
Yeah,
as far
of
as
course.
being able to paste that in because these are customers that had a great experience with us. And these are
Yeah, you want to
customers
make them
that
feel
I've-
special that they thankful that they
exactly.
did that. You are
And-
thankful.
And so it is something that I want to make sure that I take time to make that happen while I've got a million other things that are occurring.
Yeah.
And so
me-
this has allowed me to make sure that I personally am reading and part of the
Replying.
response
Yep.
for every one of them.
Yeah, because in your role, you're constantly spinning plates
Yes.
nonstop
Yep.
spinning plates, especially with multiple OEMs, because all of them think, and it feels to me that all of them think they're the only one that's there and the most important one that you should care the most about. And you're like, you're not. You're KO. I don't know. Like, sorry, KO, if you're watching, but like there are all these other things and problems going on. And so when you as a rep come in to visit me,
Yep.
like that's wasting half of my day. I hope you realize like
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of value in this. And I know you're just trying to shove more product down my throat. So like there are some reps that have great relationships with. There are great reps out there that do an awesome job. But it is just really frustrating how we've got so much to juggle in these roles. And AI fortunately has really dramatically expanded the capability of every employee, not just GMs.
Oh yeah, 100%. One of the big things I noticed, especially with my frontline sales guys, being able to utilize AI is, say we have a customer that just prefers to communicate via text.
Yeah.
Okay, is great to be able to drop an entire text history with a customer into the AI.
Oh, yeah.
And go, listen, I'm struggling on getting them in for an appointment.
Yeah.
Can you Joe Verde this for me a little bit?
Yeah.
Bring out some of the good old school. I just need to get them in front of me because then I can let them experience the machine.
Yep.
And see the value in it. Right now we're negotiating dollars.
The
You
guy's
haven't
never
sat
set
on
foot.
it.
Yeah. He's never. Yeah.
But
Is
the
this the right thing for him?
But the
Yeah.
customer is telling you, I will not make the drive to your store until we agree on price.
Yeah.
Well, how can I agree on how much you're willing to spend on something if I haven't been able to successfully build the value in it?
Yeah.
And so this has allowed my frontline guys, even 7 o'clock at night, drop it in there.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. What would the best response be to help me show this customer the best experience?
That's great. That's really cool. Well, look, this stuff is evolving so incredibly fast as well.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that we have been building for the dealer lab here is actually Agentic AI as well, which basically, our approach is now to take some of the administrative tasks off of the frontline staff. So like for instance, a service advisor. Service advisor, when we are checking a customer in, has to obviously greet the customer, make them feel like they're in the right spot, build trust, get to know them, connect, do a walk around, right? All of that is very important. But what really happens is that the time we're spending with the customer is creating a repair order, looking up, standard jobs, adding stuff to it, editing the repair order more, making sure the parts are there. If we don't have the parts, when are they coming in? All of that is screen
Making
time.
sure all of the information is in there so you don't get chewed out at the lineup meetings.
Staring at the
There's a VIN, there's a tag, there's a color, there's pictures.
I've got to get it to a technician. Let me look at all the technician schedules. Which technician's capable of doing this? All of that stuff requires me to stare at my screen and not make eye contact with you. And so what we're building right now is trying to basically, not even trying, we're pulling away the administrative responsibilities from the employees so that we can automate that process and allow the employees to do the most important thing, which is like the relationship building and the trust building with the staff. And so like, you've built a repair order before. The amount of button clicks you have to do. If I could just have 1/3 of those button clicks, I'd have a lot more eye contact. And so, I mean, man, you know what AI is real good at? Button clicks, it turns out. And it's not using ChatGPT, it's not pasting in this thing, and it's literally training them how to click buttons. It's like recognizing how you can pull and push data and do all that stuff. But once you start dialing that in, which I'll show you what we're starting to do now, once you start dialing that piece in, then you're like, ooh, wait a second. I can simplify what my staff does to a point where they're dealing with one software, one system, and then all the OEM pages and the DMSs and the schedulers and all the other shit that we're dealing with is now it's still there. It's just behind this layer that allows the employee to interact more effectively. And so I think that is what's coming, which I think is really exciting. And it's the only way that we can see solving the service problem. You can solve the sales problem with a CRM because that's the whole thing. That's the interface they deal with, and it's you AI enable that thing and problem solved. You have a lot more to AI enable. So is it about enabling the individual tools, or is it about enabling the layer in between the employee and the tools?
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. So working on that stuff. Any input you have on it, we would love to.
I'm excited to look at it. I'm excited to see what that looks like, because I'm trying to wrap in my brain how that looks, even from an accountability side of things. Well, hey,
totally.
This RO is wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, whose fault is that?
Is
it the AI's fault? Is it the advisor's fault?
Build the AI build it incorrectly? Do we put it in incorrectly? So look, there's a lot to figure out with that, because still AI hallucinates. There's times hallucinations have gotten far better, meaning just make shit up. It used to be 70% of the time it was right. The rest it was probably not correct. Now it's 98% of the time it's right, and 2% it hallucinates, and it's getting better and better and better and better. And so there's still there will be some failure rate. But then you think about my employees
the failure rate down
there. You think the failure rate's less than 2%? No way.
How many ROs have you read that the customer complaint was bike makes weird noise?
Yes. We do this grading thing.
Exactly.
We grade the RO.
That is a failure rate. What's the weird noise?
We grade. I think we did this in the Service Management Academy with you. If not, it may have come after. Probably Travis did it with us too. But I would go through and grade repair orders. All right. Was the customer name there? Email, phone number, address, VIN number, mileage in, like all that stuff. Good descriptions. Pictures. We all do that. And so you probably have done the same thing. When we had Billy Nickel on here, he's built one too. You just enter in yes, no, and then we can make a grade from that. Like you got 8 out of 10 correct. That's an 80. It was consistently would have a 60% out of everybody. I'm okay, so if my employees, of their button clicks, they get 60% of it right. That's not good. We keep training it and working on it. If I can get 98% good,
and we're frustrated on 98.
Exactly. Let's just do it and see how far we can get.
How we can make it work.
So I mean, that's of all the things I think we've covered so far, from where we started, it's you being able to see some of the operations across the country and in automotive and everywhere else, into now you're running stores and putting in some of the newest, most incredible technology that our generation's ever going to see. And terrifying all at the same time.
100%.
I feel like if we had this podcast again in 6 months, it's going to be dramatically different than what we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
So it's fun to be in this role. It's cool to see that there are creative.
I was going to come back
in this role.
Turns out there's a little too much competition in sales. We're working on cohesion. They really got into it.
And don't get me wrong, we got guys that are
That competition's too much.
Let me put it this way. I'm really glad that my background's marine and laundry.
Yeah, you can just like stand between them like, oh, guys.
Every once in a while, the marine voice comes out. And it's like, Dad's in the room. Stop.
Oh,
No,
man,
I'm
that's
kidding.
great.
The guys that I got working there are fantastic.
Good.
When they do end up getting a little flustered with each other, you can watch one walk one way and one walk the other way because they all know the rule.
Yeah.
Whoever swings, fired.
Yeah.
Just as that simple.
All right, so nobody's swinging.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. If y'all argue and bicker out on the sales floor, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Can't
not
be
the
where a
place for
customer
it.
can see you. Yep.
Those are all good
Believe
rules.
it or not, there's a whole service shop that you can go in the back and two sales guys can bicker at each other and the techs think it's just TV. It might as well be Saturday Night Live.
Love it. Yeah. You go entertain the technicians.
They're
by
like,
yelling at each other.
ooh, you're miserable too. Yes. And nothing does a tech enjoy more than watching another individual be miserable.
Yeah.
Favorite pastime is complaining. Second favorite pastime is watching him complain.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Watch two sales guys fight with each other as a technician. That does sound pretty entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Like a,
It's good team building.
If you can't swing, that's fine. Maybe there's like a grappling. You're like a grappling in your service department for the sales guys.
And then suddenly somebody shows up and trying to figure out why a bunch of guys are just back there hugging each other.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Just get some Hulk hands back there.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I like it.
Oh man. that would be
So
fun.
back with the AI side of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
for it doing a good majority of your advisor role, do you ever see a time where there's no advisor?
We see it doing what an advisor should do, not having the AI handle the customer.
Yep.
I think I say it every single podcast. Your buddy that came to you and said that he loves this store, but every time he comes in, he feels like he's distracting the staff. Now, how brutal is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because the staff they're doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah.
You
They're
know?
giving it their all.
They're doing work. They're not playing solitaire. They're
Yeah.
ting to get their shit done.
Does anybody still play solitaire?
I don't know. It's a good question.
There's some other game.
Or is
Anyway.
that just one of those go-to? We filled that in the conversation. If this is wasting time.
Dating
Sorry.
myself.
Yeah, we gotta-
dating myself. But yeah, I mean, that's the part that we're trying to fix.
Yeah.
We're trying to get heads not looking at the screen,
But
looking at the customer.
And so here's,
Yeah, I can
here's the
see
thing.
that.
I to answer that particular question too of like, is there a moment where there's no advisors? I don't think that there is. But what I do believe is there is an opportunity to make it's hard to find an advisor, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
It's an incredibly
Oh.
difficult role. But it's
Yes.
hard to find them not just because they have to be able to be empathetic with the customer and they have to be somewhat technically minded, but they also have to learn how to use Lightspeed and use all the OEM pages and look up parts and look up availability. And they're the hub of the whole store. Like the store does not operate without a general manager or advisors. Like that's just like, those are two roles that need to exist like that. And so I think that it would be a hell of a lot easier to find those roles and train them up if they didn't have to know every single button click in every single system.
Okay.
So my thought is, what if we could simplify what they do in the computer
Okay.
so much so that they're prompted in the right ways, and it's so simple that a customer could do it as well.
Or it's so simple that a salesman can do it.
Yes.
Or it's so simple that a parts guy to do it. So that you get to a point where you're walking into a store and anybody can help you. Not like great looking, fun salesperson up front, great with people. It's like service, you got to go back there.
Yeah, talk to those other people.
So then the store, 10 years from now, using this as a thought process, does that become more or less personal? Is it now suddenly I have one person I talk to every time I go into the store because my sales guy also can help me with parts, also can help me with service? Or does it turn into, man, it doesn't matter who I talk to, therefore I stop building that relationship because just the first person I see can help?
I think that it will be a little bit of both. You have your person.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
person leaves, that person's out or whatever. With the technology, the next person can pick right back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I
see all of your history and know exactly where to pick up.
I've had a lot of conversations about this exact thing, and actually one of the people that I talked to the most about it was Schoolie from Garage Composites.
Yep.
Still a very
I'm
good
actually,
friend of mine.
I'm going up and doing a class with him next
Oh,
week.
cool. Yeah, we'll talk to him about this because we talked about the fact that when Schoolie wants a motorcycle or needs something done on his motorcycle, Schoolie doesn't go through all the same channels that everybody else does.
Yeah.
I don't go through the same channels that everybody else does. Like if I need something done down there, I go talk to my dude.
Yeah.
And my dude takes care of everything. If I don't want to buy a new bike, it's John. I go, hey, John, dude, can you get my wife's bike needs this thing. Can you have the team pick it up, take care of it, bring it in? For Schoolie, same thing. He can call his general manager friend and say, hey, man, I want to buy this new bike. I want this, this, and this on it. Can you have it delivered to my house? Takes care of it. Now, that's because he knows the person. I'm talking to the GM. I'm talking to the person who is in charge of everything, and they can delegate everything out perfectly.
Yep.
Schoolie gets a phenomenal experience because of that. Because I've got a guy. I just shoot him a text and say, this is what I want. Thing happens. Like, no questions asked. It's still a lot of work for the GM to do that or delegating out to other people. What if everybody had that experience? So I walk in. I'm a first-time buyer of a Polaris Razor. I walk in. I connect with that salesperson. Like, we hit it off. We become friends. It's like a long process of convincing me to part ways $50,000 for a toy. Like that takes time.
Oh yeah.
So I am building rapport. That person's checking in on me. They're getting to know about my kids, and then I'm heading to gymnastics. And next time we talk, you ask me about the kid. Like, that's what we teach. Like, that's what you got to do. And then imagine that as soon as I pay that $50,000, that guy disappears from my life.
Right.
I never talk to them again. Wouldn't I rather that same guy be the one that I can at any moment say, hey, dude, that warranty recall just came out. How can I handle it? Instead of saying, oh, well, talk to the angry guys over there. Instead, if you just said, oh, well, actually, it looks like I've got some availability. Like, the tech that works on it's free at this time. Come on in, or I'll send a driver out to pick it up, and all that stuff gets handled.
Yep.
That, I think, solves a lot of problems. It creates a cohesive, incredible experience for the customers. But you do have to think, one of the things I hear like pushback on is, well, what if that guy leaves? Well, like, yes, that's true.
That's the case now for any of our employees, though.
It is.
What if anybody leaves?
It's an excuse for saying why this can't happen.
Yeah, that's the same. Hey, we're good with 60%, but 80 or 90%, maybe we're scared with because it's not good enough yet.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, there is this opportunity that person leaves, but all that information is still saved in the system. It's easier to pick back up and hand that off to another person. So, like, that's kind of irrelevant, but it also means why did that person leave? Why do we have such high turnover? Why are we understaffed in dealerships across the country, especially in the proper seasons?
Yep.
So think about it this way. Let's say you've got your like seasonality curve. Let's imagine it's just if you're, I mean, we have the same
high tide, low
seasonality,
tide.
right? Yeah, it's like we're busy as hell, we're dead slow because it's hot. We're busy as hell, we're dead slow because it's cold, and it's just like that over and over again. The majority of your customers are coming in at those peaks, right? Because it's nice.
Yep.
Your experience, your net promoter score, or your profit per repair order, profit per invoice, is opposite of seasonality. So when the most amount of people are in the store, they're having the worst experience you're giving them. And that's a lot to do with your staffing being too low. And again, that could be because we don't have the money to pay them, or it could be because the work is really, really tough and it's not worth the money to stick around. So they go, man, I'm working my ass off. Is it worth this?
Yep.
And so I think that if you start simplifying the administrative tasks and allowing the staff to more effectively connect with customers and sell to customers, then you're basically like, it's almost like removing so much responsibility off their plate that it's like doubling your staff. Like your staff that exists now can now spend more time with customers because they're spending less time staring at the screens. So now it's effectively doubling your staff for no additional headcount. So we can actually pay those people better.
Yep.
We keep them around longer. The job sucks less, and they're more enthusiastic.
Customers have a better experience.
They have a better experience. They're happier. I mean, I think that's what we're working toward.
So then, working towards that, do we get away from having service advisors? Do we get away from having a salesperson? Like how does that work if we've got, hey, my parts guy can be the sales guy, can be the advisor?
That's where I see it. I see it going. I see it as you have your specialist, or you have.
And so then do we just, in looking at the way the dealerships are set up, and we're talking about the different personalities that are involved in these different roles.
Yeah.
Then does it truly just become as simple as a front of house, back of house?
Is it even front of house, back of house? Is it? I mean, look. I think
Well,
first off,
I
always
got
gonna
to tell
be
you,
back house.
I got technicians
no,
who
no,
I
no.
would not take this tablet and go stand in front
a
of.
technician. So a technician is inventory. It's the same thing I said in the academies before. That is inventory. So there is, let's say, major units.
Yep.
There's inventory and there's a manager of that inventory.
Yep.
Right. Like that. I run the front of house. Right. There is parts inventory. There's a manager of that inventory, making sure we have the right physical stuff on site. Those both are still going to be a requirement.
Yep.
And then there is inventory of service, which is technicians, and there's still going to be management of that technician. But the front of house piece, does that need to be different? So for a customer, does there need to be silos? In the back of house, maybe there are in operations, there's a silo of major unit part or major units. There's a silo of parts. There's a silo of labor. They don't need to be as split apart, maybe, because they can like be enabled, and we can have like cross-pollination of information across those. Like, hey, I've got all these appointments coming up. Do I have all the parts necessary for those? Or I've got diagnostics on the board right now. Do we have the parts in stock to fulfill these potential diagnostics? I think that's future. But the front of the dealership does not need to be 3 different departments, 3 different silos for the customer to be forced through. Like, I don't need to tell you my same problem 3 different times because I went to the wrong employee first, you know?
That's fair. So how does that work on just brains process and all the different steps here where all this goes? How does that work as far as the specialization that's needed for, say, an advisor role that's doing submissions of warranty stuff with manufacturers?
Yeah.
Or is that something that's just now picked up by an AI? And if it's just something that's picked up by an AI, is it picked up on both sides by an AI?
Well, okay, so this store, I'll use this store as an example. The advisors here don't do warranty submission at all. That is a third-party company. It's a company. Yeah, it's a company called Warranty Resolutions is the company. They're awesome. If you reach out to Warranty Resolutions, I think their email is just warrantyresolutions@gmail.com.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Nice little plug there.
Yeah, right. But we've used them now for 7 years at this store. Okay. They log into our DMS at night, pull anything that's been tagged as warranty, and submit on our behalf to the manufacturers. So they work with the manufacturers. They know what needs to be submitted, and so they get paid by taking a small percentage of the approved claims that come through. So I was able to take all that responsibility off the plate of my service advisors, hand it off, and those guys are incentivized to make sure those claims go through.
Interesting.
So our warranty submission and approval rates have gone up because it's better than the service advisor who's doing a million other things. So, and it's also, we needed to make sure we had a good process in place, that the photos are on there. We have a strategy for how we're keeping notes. But our processes went up because of this outsourced person. And what's the difference at this point? If I've got an outsourced person doing work for me, what's the difference between that and just creating it as an AI process?
No, that's fair. And I can understand that since you already have that process there for us. We don't.
Yeah, you're still having advisors do it.
Yeah, we've got actual people that are going in and making sure the stuff happens. So interesting.
There's definitely there's an opportunity there, and we're going to keep trying that type of model here. But I think it's going to take a minute for this to
100%
proliferate across the entire industry. But
absolutely.
But at least, I mean, the people who are on the cutting edge, like using your CRM now, the people who are like trying it and putting new steps in place, those are the ones who are going to really start taking over markets a lot more than the dealers who.
I sure hope so.
There are dealers out there.
I could use a lot more market share.
Yeah, exactly.
At no point have the conversation of market share and us gaining more been don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, hopefully these are the ways to do it, because it's either more staff, put more people on it, lean in more, or it's make our current staff more efficient so we can actually run faster.
Yep. See, and I love the efficiency side of that. And I think that's coming from a service guy. That's the epitome of a service manager is
absolutely.
I want to make sure that efficiency is there.
Yeah.
It's interesting to try and plug all that in with AI and all the different roles that are there, though.
Yeah. It's coming. I'll show you some stuff here. But
I'm excited to see how that looks.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. It's a matter of, there's this matter of like, there are brands who are paying attention to this.
Yep.
Which is awesome. But there's also the need to be able to figure out a multi-line strategy for this, right? As a brand, you can't solve everything for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
They have to make sure that their brand stands out, which totally makes sense, totally, absolutely necessary. But there also needs to be this capability of being able to create this great experience because you come to this dealership, not just because you bought this brand.
Yeah.
And I say that not just because like you want everybody to have a great time, but if my service advisor can only do a great job with your tool or with your brand because of this one tool that you created, then it's not like they're still bogged down on the rest of their job because they've got every other manufacturer, every other
still
process
have to jump through
that's
those.
Still like this legacy strategy and this legacy software running it.
Yep.
So anyway, it's going to be a long, I don't want to say long, it's going to be a very big undertaking. And with AI now, nothing really takes all that long anymore. So
Now that part's true.
yeah,
Every day that goes by.
you're like,
Okay,
What did it just
everything's
do now?
completely different now.
yeah,
Yep.
The world just flipped upside down again. All right, let's change the idea. So yeah, dude, this has been a really great talk. Thank you so much
Heck
for
yeah.
being a part of this.
Tons
It's
of fun.
Yeah. So we'll come down and visit you one of these days. Now that you've
Sounds
come
good.
down and seen us, so we'll go make a little field trip. So
Thank you.
thank you everybody for watching the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.